who actually has a shot at the Lombardi Trophy?
Are the Pats pretenders or are they legit contenders?
Yeah, I'm going with pretenders.
It's not always easy to sort out the true contenders from the pretenders heading into the new NFL season. Thankfully, we're here to help you out and bring you the 5 most legit Super Bowl contenders, along with 5 teams that look more like pretenders. Contender, Buffalo Bills. It's truly no wonder that the Bills are the early consensus favorite to win Super Bowl 57. I mean, Josh Allen is only a top 3 quarterback in the game right now, but we'll get to that in a bit. The Buffalo defense was number 1 in both scoring and yards last year, and they have a future Hall of Famer in Von Miller, a prized rookie corner in Kyer Elam, and a healthy Tre'Davious White. The sky is absolutely the limit for this unit, and we don't need to remind you that, hey, defense wins championships. No team is more balanced on both sides of the ball than Sean McDermott's group. Buffalo may have gone on to win the Super Bowl last season if it weren't for the NFL's lame overtime rules. Now that they've gotten even better over the offseason, there may be no stopping them in 2022. It's incredibly difficult to spot a single weakness on this roster. All the pieces are in place for this team to finally end the drought and bring a championship to Buffalo. Pretender, San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are well within the top 10 at most sportsbooks when it comes to Super Bowl odds. And it's easy to understand why. They've reached 2 NFC Championship games in the last 3 years, were half a quarter away from winning Super Bowl 54, and they boast one of the most star-studded rosters in recent memory. But a giant question mark looms at quarterback, the game's most important position. The 49ers still don't know what they have in second-year product Trey Lance. So who knows if the dual-threat QB is actually ready to start come week 1. The 49ers' decision to keep Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster is quite telling to us. It's a possible hint that they want to keep him on as insurance in case Lance isn't ready for prime time.
Nothing's changed since his surgery. You know, we were where we were at before that, and then he got the surgery, so everything went on hold. I expect him at some time, most likely to be traded, but who knows? That's not a guarantee, and it's been exactly on hold when that happened, and when he's healthy, we'll see what happens.
Oh, and superstar wideout Deebo Samuel is unhappy with the situation in San Fran and has requested a trade. If San Francisco is forced to trade Samuel, their offense takes a massive hit. Lance truly has to prove himself before the 49ers can be considered a bona fide title contender. Until then, it's hard to see the 49ers going all the way in 2022. Contender, Kansas City Chiefs. We could just say Patrick Mahomes and skip to the next entry, but we won't do that. Some folks are quickly writing off the Chiefs because they traded away all-pro wideout Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. The deal took place after the two sides failed to reach an agreement on an extension, and Hill wound up signing a $120 million contract with his new team. Well, we would advise you to proceed with caution if you plan on writing off Mahomes and Andy Reid. Mahomes still has Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and rookie Sky Moore to help fuel the offense. The vulnerable defense vastly improved with the draft selections of pass-rushing stalwart George Karlaftis and lockdown corner Trent McDuffie. Throw in what should be a breakout year from Nick Bolton, and the Chiefs' defense has all the makings to return to championship level this year. In 4 years of Mahomes, the Chiefs have never failed to reach the Final Four. You can argue that this team is better on paper now than they were last year, and that should be a very scary thought for the rest of the NFL. A new-look offense and a rebuilt defense still has Kansas City in the running for Super Bowl 57, no doubt about it. Pretender, Tennessee Titans. With all due respect to the 2021 Titans, they were certainly among the worst #1 seeds in recent memory. Ryan Tannehill regressed noticeably. The offense couldn't get by while Derrick Henry was sidelined, and the pass D once again proved to be a weakness. Well, this year's Titans look even worse on paper than that 2021 group. In a stunner, they traded away top wideout A.J. Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles. They are now relying on rookie Treylon Burks to fill the void left by Brown, which is easier said than done.
We see that with guys that have come back and started with our offseason program and guys that have joined a few weeks in. It's just different. And I know that they're working and they think that they are trying to get in shape, but that's just not the case.
Standout guard Roger Saffold left for the Bills in free agency, and the Titans failed to find a suitable replacement for him. And then you consider that all these other playoff hopefuls in the AFC made significant moves to get better, including the Colts, who brought in Stephon Gilmore and Matt Ryan, and it's hard to see Tennessee coming even close to replicating last year's success. The Titans will once again rely heavily on Henry to carry the offense. Brown isn't here anymore to help out, and Tannehill has probably hit his peak. There's really nowhere to go but downhill from here. Add it all up, and the Titans feel like a 10-win wildcard team at best, but definitely not a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Contender, Los Angeles Chargers. This feels really weird, putting a perennial underachiever like the Chargers on this list. But eventually, things have to change. Right? Right? I mean, the Bills and Rams used to be very sad NFL franchises, and hey, look where they are now. Seriously, how can the Chargers possibly disappoint in 2022? Justin Herbert is an MVP-level quarterback. He, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett, and Isaiah Spiller round out a prolific offense. And their offensive line got even stronger this offseason with the Zion Johnson pick in round 1. That defense already had 2 cornerstones in Derwin James and Joey Bosa. Then they added all-pro corner J.C. Jackson and future Hall of Famer Khalil Mack to their arsenal, giving them 2 more game records to deal with the other high-powered offenses in the AFC. Brandon Staley will learn from his mistakes of being overly aggressive in close game situations. The Chargers had some bad luck in one-score games last year, but eventually it has to balance out. At least we hope so. Pretender, Cleveland Browns. Replacing the inconsistent, injury-prone Baker Mayfield with Deshaun Watson should help the Browns contend for a Super Bowl, right?
The Cleveland Browns are going to the Super Bowl.
Well, not so fast. It's easy to assume that Watson will step right in and light it up right away. Well, we don't know how much time he could miss in 2022 due to a suspension for starters. Going from a pass-happy Houston Texans offense to the Browns' run-heavy quick pass scheme is also easier said than actually done. If you take out the Watson addition, the Browns lost far more than they gained. Standout center J.C. Treader was cut in a cost-saving move. Ditto for Pro Bowl wideout Jarvis Landry and veteran tight end Austin Hooper. Yes, they acquired Amari Cooper from the Dallas Cowboys for pennies on the dollar, but he's also coming off a down year, and who knows if Cooper will actually flourish in this Cleveland offense. Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. certainly had better days before arriving in the land. The Browns also play in a very unforgiving division that, by the way, features the reigning AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals along with annual contenders in the Ravens and Steelers. But other than that, the Browns should be just fine. Contender, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When Tom Brady retired, the Buccaneers basically became hopeless.
It's hopeless. Utterly hopeless.
But then he unretired and immediately made them a championship contender again. The Bucs managed to retain pending free agents Chris Godwin, Ryan Jensen, Leonard Fournette, and Carlton Davis. So most of the core from the Super Bowl 55 championship team remains in place. Losing quarterback whisperer Bruce Arians to retirement hurts, no doubt, but he made sure that his replacement Todd Bowles was in the best possible position to succeed. So hopefully, it should be a smooth transition. They still have a top-tier front seven on defense as well. Their ability to get after the passer more than makes up for their vulnerable pass D. Yes, there are worries about the age of this group and if they'll have enough in the tank as the season progresses. But the Bucs won 13 games last season despite all those injuries. So, yeah, they'll most certainly be in the running again, as per usual for any team that employs Tom Brady. Pretender, New England Patriots. Now, we hate doubting a Bill Belichick coached team, but it's hard to like their chances of returning to title contention in 2022 for pretty obvious reasons. Beginning with the fact that they have lost way more than they have gained. In an absolute shocker, Bill Belichick traded away star guard Shaq Mason to the Bucs for a 5th-round pick. Top corner J.C. Jackson was lost to the Chargers in free agency, Kyle Van Noy was released, and veteran mainstays Jamie Collins and Dante Hightower weren't replaced. Belichick also reached way too early for his first 2 draft picks, Cole Strange and Tyquan Thornton. So, New England's O-line, secondary, and slow and sluggish front seven all look significantly worse on paper. Honestly, it's hard to see even the Bill Belichick himself competing for a Super Bowl with this squad. Contender, Green Bay Packers. Sorry folks, but we're not buying the whole Packers window is closed without Davante Adams thing. We refuse to fall for it. Did you know Green Bay is 7-0 without Davante Adams under Coach LaFleur? A-Rod always finds a way to get it done. And we are sure rookie Christian Watson and sophomore Amari Rodgers are ready to step up in 2022. Green Bay's defense has been a strength under LaFleur. They brought back Devondre Campbell and Rasul Douglas before using their 2 first-rounders on Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt to further beef up the front 7. Then you remember that the Pack had shut-down corner Jair Alexander for only 4 games last season. Add it all up, and you'll start to realize that Green Bay could totally field the league's best defense next season. Meaning Rodgers won't have to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns every single game. Plus, you know, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon could be on the verge of becoming the league's top rushing duo. Write off the Packers at your own risk, but we're not gonna take the bait. Pretender, Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys looked different last year. They actually looked capable of going on a deep playoff run with the league's #1 scoring offense and a defense that forced an NFL-leading 34 takeaways. Even with all that star power, the Cowboys' 12-5 season ended with a disappointing home loss in the wildcard round to the 49ers. Regression is inevitable on both sides of the ball, and that's a recipe for disaster. Sure, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons will keep them in playoff contention, but Dallas' ceiling will be around 10 or 11 wins and a trip to the divisional round at best. After another unbelievable playoff stinker last year, we have given up on the Cowboys as legit contenders. We are not buying the hype train anymore. But who are some other legitimate Super Bowl contenders heading into the 2022 NFL season? And who do you predict are just pretenders? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.